All right, here we are, community garden. I'm not sure if we should start with the good or start with the bad. Let's start with the bad. So, this was my carrot bed. There are carrots in here, but they are amongst all of these weeds. So, that is less than ideal. On this side, this was planted with peas on this half and rutabagas on the other half. I see no sign of any peas in here, but I do think there are a few turnips. So I'll probably just scrap this half, and depending on how I feel when I get to this bed, because I have other beds I'm dealing with, we might go around those rutabagas and turnips. This bed was beans. Same deal. They're definitely all didn't come up, but there are quite a few. And these are the dry beans, and I don't have replacement seeds for a lot of these. So this is going to be a bed where, even though it's tedious, it's going to be worth it to pick out those beans. There's a little ladybug. Love seeing those. I saw quite a few today when I was weeding. And there's actually a few self-seeded. These are like the ground cherries and Inca berries. I didn't have ground cherries here. I had like the Inca berries here last year. So I'm just going to let those go. And they can get nice and big and fill in some of these holes that my beans left. I am going to reseed some of these, but I need to get these weeds dealt with first. And this was also a bed of beans. Again, you can see some. These were dry beans again. I ended up ripping out, these were all of our green beans. I'm going to reseed it with probably some yellow beans and some green beans. Or I might go totally off book and plant some of the flowers and things that I still have on my front porch. Jarrett doesn't like that plant. I don't know if you heard him boo. He likes me to only have food in the community garden. But I went ahead, it took me like an hour to weed just this one bed, so I went ahead and put some chopped straw down just to make sure we don't have this situation again before I get it planted. Now, onto some of the positives. The broccoli is looking absolutely friggin' fantastic. I planted, this is gypsy broccoli, and I planted the same variety at home. It's already heading, but it's in a shady location, and the plants are a lot more stretched, and they're small heads. So I'm hoping we'll have big broccoli heads here. We have some cabbage here. These two ended up dying. They were kind of the weaklings of the seedlings, so we replaced those with a different kind of cabbage. I'm trying to remember what kind they all now. I know I have Tiara in here and Golden Acre, and then these two I think Jarrett put the tag over here, Danish Ballhead. So we have two replacements over there, and then on this side where our Snowball X cauliflower is, we had one not make it, and so we put a replacement cabbage in there too. Our squash, you can see some diatomaceous earth sprinkled onto it. We have had some cucumber beetles, and we have also had some squash bugs. I've squished 3 or 4 adults, and I have squished quite a few eggs. And look, there's some more that I see that were not there earlier. I'll have to squish those before I leave. Give you a nice close-up of those. But basically staying on top of the eggs is the way to control squash bugs. We don't have them super bad. In fact, we don't have any at home, but here there are a few. And the first year we were here, I didn't know there were any. I didn't stay on top of the eggs or anything, and we still managed to have, harvests and things. So I'm not super worried about them, but it's something that I check every time we hear it. The cucumber beetles are a far bigger problem. But the diatomaceous earth should help with that. I'll have to go ahead and list the kinds we have here because I don't recall right offhand. We've also got a few zinnias planted in here. Some different ones, some State Fair, Beneries, and I can't remember what else. This is more squash over in this bed, same situation. I just replaced one squash plant here. It was a patty pan. Now it is a mashed potato squash, which is like a white acorn squash. So hopefully this guy makes it. And this is a volunteer tomato. From last year we had our tomatoes all along this edge. So it's some kind of paste tomato most likely, or it could be a Scotia or something like that, but I'm gonna let it go and we will see. Okay, and speaking of the devils, I don't know if you can see them. I'm gonna try to squish them. This is like the only bug I hate so badly, I don't mind squishing it with my fingers. They're awful. And I see more over here. And they're probably breeding. They are, the little bastards. There's so many. And they like to go after your flowers. If I have more diatomaceous earth, I'll give another sprinkle. This was a few days ago and it's getting a little sparse. And then there's my lone, what's that one? The Queen Lime Red. I think that guy is. Over here, peppers doing awesome. This side is all the sweet peppers, different kinds, some bells, some of the long sweet peppers. You can see we're starting to get quite a few coming on here, which is awesome. Lots. And then this side is all jalapenos. So I actually ended up picking 10 jalapenos today. They were fairly small, but I want these plants to get bigger and I want lots and lots of jalapeno harvest this year because we ran out of cowboy candy this year. And I also made a bunch of jalapeno poppers last year and we ran out of those too. So definitely need lots of jalapenos. And then down at the end here, we have, these are Floret's unicorn zinnias. So they've got some interesting colorations. I can't wait to see them all bloom. I grew these for the first time a few years ago and I had some older seed. And I'm glad I did because whoa, did it ever take a price hike. But I'll make sure to save some seed from these this year. Now, on to our potatoes. We've been staying on top of the potato bugs and I've got some diatomaceous earth sprinkled to help me with the job. I didn't see any adults today, which is awesome. And I only saw one plant with eggs on it, so that's also awesome. And I think I counted 14 nymphs that I squished. So basically every couple days I'll be out here doing that for the foreseeable future. These are our poor suffering peanuts. I just mulched them tonight, so they were in bare, hard, dry soil. So hopefully now that they're a little protected, they'll take a jump. And these are our absolutely fantastic looking tomatoes. These are probably the furthest along, the earliest in the season since we started gardening here. And they're definitely larger than any we have at home. I'm starting to see blossoms and things, so looking good. And that's the garden, guys. Yeah, off to a good start.